Hi everyone, welcome back to Kingdom College. We'll be doing a selective preparation test today, looking at power reading test 27. Sorry. Um, Before we properly begin, I want to offer you guys some help in outside of this 15-minute video basically. So if you want to email me like a draft or something that you have for school that you need extra help with, my email is up here on the screen. Please ask specific questions alongside your notification and criteria, as in your school notification or criteria. If it's simply just like for practice, then just let me know. But if it's got a criteria like with your assessment, I want to stay on track so you guys get the best grades possible, obviously. In terms of the specific questions, I would really appreciate it if you guys just ask hey miss, sorry, I think I'm lacking in my structure of my vocabulary, my sentence structure. Try and well, just ask me what you need help with specifically, so then I can help you get to that. I do not help with cutting down words. I will tell you oh, maybe you should rephrase this, but I can't help you cut down words because I would actually be rewriting those parts, and that's against the rules, and it's just not right anyway. Please give me 3 days to mark your work. So if your work, you have 3 days to do it, left in your due date, I'll probably give it to you on the third day or something, right? So when it's due. So try not to do that. I can help with the subjects listed here, and so if you have any questions, email me and I'll answer them. I'm getting really busy with some work as well, but I am still available to help you guys out. Just let me know if you need it by a specific day. Email me, I'll let you know. As long as you really meet that 3 days, it should be okay. But I'll let you know if something does come up. Anyway, sorry for taking up that time, but this is the extract from questions 1 to 4. If you don't have a copy of this, please screenshot this so you can read it, and then come back to this video. So for the very first question, we have, how would you describe the review? I'm not putting an extract for this question because we're talking about the review as a whole, so we're not just talking about certain parts of it. In this case, really knowing what these words mean and what they're specifically referring to, in their precision really, is really important. So favorable means that it's very good, right? They're describing the movie or book as something as very good, maybe a bit biased because they think it's that good, right? There's no ounce of criticism. But in this extract, we actually do have some criticism, and it's not put on this pedestal. It's not praised necessarily. So A wouldn't be the right answer. B, impartial. Impartial means that they are being fair. They're being neutral. So in this case, I would really disagree because I think there is a little bit of analysis here. And they're not just saying good, they're saying good things, they're saying bad things, but I would say they say a little bit more of good things rather than bad things. Now, for C, highly critical means that you are having some sort of critique. So you're not just taking things blindly, you're just you're questioning it, right? I would say C is the answer for this one because they do say that the movie is good, but they also have a little bit of comments with the actors and actresses, and some of the plots inconsistencies. D, hostile. Hostile is just mean, right? But violent and rude, uncalled for, and I wouldn't agree with that because I think the writer actually really enjoyed the film. So the answer would be C. For question 2, I took this one from the text. Why is Delta Goodrem not convincing in her role? So we're not going to use the process of elimination here because I've taken this from the extract. So the key word here is Delta Goodrem, okay? So search the text for Delta Goodrem. This is literally where it comes up. I think this is the only part in the text that mentions Delta Goodrem anyway. It should come as no surprise that Delta Goodrem doesn't convince as a 14-year-old schoolgirl. Great, so we're addressing the question. Hiding under a Mona Lisa smile and Goldilocks wig, she looks like a 20-year-old pop star on the run from the paparazzi. So she looks old, basically. she looks old and she looks too much like a famous person, which is who Delta Goodrem is. If you guys don't know who she is, she's a pop star. So she looks too much like herself, and she looks too old. So the answer would be B. Now for question 3, the review says that this film is set in Ockerdom. Where is this place and what do they mean? So, in the extract, not that it matters, the film of Hating Allison Ashley, Robin Klein's much read children's novel, has little to do with the real world. So it's not based for something in real life. So A is immediately not the answer. It's an Ockerdom, a place where we patriotic film goers have spent a lot of time lately, thanks to the run of comedies which have been trying with reckless relentlessness to make themselves lovey in the happy-go-lucky manner of the castle. So here we're actually talking about filmography, or at least the common ideas in films that are not just present, obviously, in just Hating Alice and Ashley, but in other films as well. The happy-go-lucky manner of the castle, I think this is a very figurative language. It's talking about sophisticated areas, and I didn't put this up on the board, but in the following paragraph, the reviewer mentions Allison's classmate Erica Yerkin, and in this case they're talking about the juxtaposition or the opposing ideas of Erica and Allison, who live in different areas, right? Such juxtaposing places, like one place is rich, one place is not. Working class Baringa East is how they talk about the areas. In this case, we're really talking about a place, right? Now, we already know A is not present, is not correct. B, Ockerdom means crass, uneducated Bergen. That is not a place, it's not B. D, Ockerdom means the mythical, true, dinky D Australia. Truthfully, I'm not even sure what this answer is actually trying to say. The mythical, true, dinky D Australia, they're not referring to some sort of mythical area in Australia, but Ockerdom is not real, right? So C would be a great response. Ockerdom is representative of stereotypical working class Australia. It's not real, but it is representative of reality, right? So it's a reflection, really. Yeah. Now, question 4, how would you describe Erica's character? So Erica, if you guys have not gathered already from the text, is someone who basically thinks that they're better than Alice and Ashley. They're very jealous. They literally hate Alice and Ashley because she's so rich and pretty and everyone gets along with her. And the thing is, though, she's not that rich. She's not rich. So we can't say that she's better or smarter or prettier than Allison, but we can say that she's very confident. She makes herself sound much more better than she might actually be, and because of that, she is pretentious. Yeah. So for the second extract, we're just going to be identifying the meaning of the following from the 2 sections of this poem. So this is the Pied Piper of Hamelin by Robert Browning. This is the first part. This is the second part. The underlined parts are the lines that we're going to be analyzing. So the very first one we have is, and ate the cheeses out of the vats and licked the soups from the cook's own ladles. Let's just look at the extract so we get a better sense of the setting. So rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats and bit the babies in the cradles. We're getting this exaggeration of rats being able to kill animals that are much more bigger than them, and also just being a pest to human beings, right? They're everywhere. They're in cradles. Later on, they'll talk about how they're in men's Sunday hats as well, so they're not just affecting younger kids. The line is, and ate cheeses of the vats and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles. Right, so if we look at our options here, I want you guys to know that the answer is immediately not A. The favorite food of the rats was cheese, because this is a bit of a random and really weird meaning to put in when the extract is talking about how annoying and how rats are such big pests. Yeah. B, the rats help taste the food. This is not true. Because they just licked the soup from the cooks. It doesn't even seem like they're tasting it, like to make it better or something. It actually just seems as if they wanted to eat the soup, so they're not helping anything. D, the rats had human qualities, as in the film Ratatouille. This is a, I think this is a really bold claim. So firstly, like a vat, like to eat cheese off of like vats that's not something humans do. The licked soup from like the cook's own ladles it's not something that we actually do either. Yeah, so it's not something that humans just do. Yeah, like I'm assuming as well, like from a cook's own ladle, like it's from an actual restaurant, so you need to maintain a sense of professionalism. Hence the answer should actually be C. The rats had infested kitchens, right? Because they're eating the cheeses and they're having soup that the cooks had made, so that should be the answer. C. For question 6, they fought the dogs and killed the cats. Now, this is what I was talking about, how it's exaggerated. This, like when you say it out loud, it does not actually make sense. I think this is actually an exaggeration to show how many rats there are in the kitchen or in the area, right? So immediately A is not there. B, this is a misprint, as it should read killed by cats. I don't think this is a good answer, because this would mean that you had read the original extract, like the very first printing or something of this poem, to get the answer right, and that simply isn't fair to you guys, so B is not the answer anyway. C, this is an analogy comparing cats to dogs. No, this one is not correct, because it's not, it doesn't really say anything about cats and dogs and their relationship. It's actually talking about like rats. It's like rats versus dogs and rats versus cats, not dogs versus cats. So the only plausible answer would be D, because it is an exaggeration of how many rats are in certain areas. There's so many that they fought dogs and they killed cats, like they won these fights, even though rats are incredibly small compared to these household pets or animals in general, right? So it emphasizes the idea that there's so many rats in this area. For question 7, if 50 different sharps and flats implies that A, the rats were fantastic singers. This is, once again, something that is very random. It, like, in terms of meaning, this doesn't make sense, as in, like, why would they be singing? The idea is that there are so many rats in an area that there's, like, no space, they're winning fights. So to say that they're fantastic singers, it's very, like, yeah, it's out of nowhere. It just doesn't make sense. B, the rats were many and loud. This one is a plausible answer. This one's a plausible answer because, like we've mentioned, there's so many of them, right? And when we're thinking of, say, like sharps, we're thinking of the different meanings of sharp. So obviously we know sharp as something that's pointy, but we also have sharp as someone that's very keen or someone that's very fast, right? Someone witty. And flats, we can interpret that as flats as in the shoes, or we can interpret that as flats as in the houses. So there are many and they're loud, right? It's also important to note that I think there are actually maybe 3 meanings for sharp. The third one must be like a very loud, sudden noise, like a ringing sound. See, there are 50 rats does not make sense. It says there's 50 different, right, in 50 different sharps and flats. So really pay attention to the small details in how they phrased it. And the people dislike the rats. I think the people did dislike the rats, but I just don't think we can get that from this one line. So really just pay attention to the detail of these lines. So the answer would be B. So unfortunately I can't go through the entire test with you guys, but this is the extract for question 8, question 8, 9, and 10, right? So the main point I wanted to make for this test was that you guys need to pay attention to the small details. Small word changes will literally change the entire meaning of the text. This was present in both the review and the poem that we analyzed. So really, like, be open to overthinking things. Think about why they would use a certain preposition, a certain pronoun compared to one that you might be comfortable using yourself. So I think it's really just about paying attention to the small details. A lot of writers' personal writing voice will also be present in that sense. Like if you overanalyze it and you notice that they always use the same pronoun, the same motif, right? That's their own individual writing style or signature thing that they just do, right? So keep that in mind as you go on with these texts, because you guys will be doing some further analysis, most likely this year, next year, and then every year up until then. So I guess that's really just my main point in terms of analyzing. Just pay attention to the smaller details. Anyway, sorry I can't go through everything today, but the test questions for 7 to 10 are in this video, and I'll just see you guys next week. Bye!